End of an era in Prince George's County. Six Flags American Hurricane Harbor in Bowie announcing the park will close at the end of the season. The company calls it a difficult decision.
Yes, summer will look different in America.
Within the amusement industry, Six Flags recently has been a topic of interest for closing numerous iconic attractions, especially as of late. But what if I told you that this is nothing compared to a bombshell that's been dropped, confirming that Six Flags is closing down a whole theme park? I wish I was kidding. This is Six Flags America, located in Bowie, Maryland. And despite thrilling guests for nearly 25 years, it was just announced that this park will be shutting its doors for good by the end of this year. All their coasters, attractions, and memories for locals gone for good by the end of 2025. And well, we need to talk about it. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the channel for all those thrill seekers. On JV Thrills, we cover all sorts of content related to theme parks and thrill rides, no matter where they're located. And if you're someone into theme parks like me, this is the channel for you. So if you want to help out, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap that notification bell to know when new videos come out on my channel. And special thanks to all my current subscribers. Y'all are truly the best. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. To start, I'll be completely honest. I've never been to this park, ever. I don't have a personal connection to it like some of y'all do. But before you click away, I can relate to locals that call this park their home. My home park is Six Flags over Texas, and like Six Flags America, it's not necessarily the top of the chain. And basically, if y'all don't already know, in the past, Six Flags used to have favoritism for their bigger parks like Magic Mountain or Great Adventure, which means the mid-tier parks like over Texas or America barely got any new additions, and if we did, it was either a clone or basic flat ride. As parks like Magic Mountain got consecutive new coasters, we were out here hoping this was our year, like the Cowboys would always say about them going to the Super Bowl. My bad y'all, I had to. That scenario has been like that for a fat minute, and for America specifically, it's pretty bad. My home park is at least a little bit better off, and that's because it was the first Six Flags park. If they truly treated this park terribly and eventually closed it, it's an insult to the original Six Flags. We basically have a historical protection, and not only that, but our location's also saving us as well. Being in the DFW Metroplex, the fastest growing cities in the country, Six Flags not investing in this park will be losing any potential money. But the same cannot be said for Bowie, Maryland. No offense to Maryland locals, but it's not necessarily a tourist destination, at least from my knowledge. People would rather go to New Jersey just further north. I mean, in my opinion, if I had enough money for one trip, and it was either for that park or Great Adventure, I would respectfully choose Great Adventure, at least when King the Cow was still standing. But also because in this economy, I choose what's the best value. But the point is, the location did not help the park. And what made it worse was the lack of investment. I mean, seriously, it was a long time since the park had received an original addition. I remember that during the Jim Reed Anderson era, the park would always receive minimal additions, water park additions, and their newest coaster was Firebird, which is not even new. It's just Apocalypse, a stand-up coaster being converted to a flowless coaster, and yet was treated as something all new. It was bad. And fun fact, they were even planned to receive an actual new coaster, rumored to be a launch coaster, to the point of even being teased. But when we had that massive CEO mix-up and shift of management, those plans were scrapped. And lastly, they even received a new addition pretty recently. If you remember, they got the all-new Steamtown, which looked cool until you realize it's one new attraction, which is a flat ride, and just a reskin of their Vekoma SLC, infamously known as a really bad coaster in the roller coaster community. So again, proof that this park was being neglected. Now, I'm not trying to say it was a bad park. I firmly believe any theme park has potential to be great. I mean, right now, my home park over Texas, which I talked about earlier, is receiving a whole giga, and this can definitely turn around this park. But as for why Six Flags America is receiving this fate, it goes to show what happens when you forget a park for way too long. The main reason the park stated for closure was to save money and cut costs, which I do believe. If the attendance is really bad for this park, the park hours aren't all that good, and no one's actively trying to visit this park from different states, it is costly to upkeep. Not to mention, even if they wanted to invest in this park a lot and turn it around, if they don't have the money, they can't. The solution makes a lot more sense. Now, from all these negatives, there's still a positive. Six Flags did tell us this park would close in advance, which means if you can, you should totally visit this park. In fact, I'm trying to visit this park for the first time myself, if I have enough money. We'll see. But with all of this said and done, this also brings a different question. What will happen to the 36 attractions this park has? To an average coaster enthusiast, this park doesn't look like much. The biggest coasters in the park can be found in different Six Flags parks. For example, Superman in New England, or Joker's Jinx in Fiesta, Texas. which are better parks. But to someone like me who wants to visit a lot of different Six Flags parks, even if it's mid-tier, it still looks very special. You have a one-of-a-kind Woody like Roar, or a flying coaster like Batwing, and it's still historical for the residents of Maryland. And to be honest, no park deserves to be completely demolished. And sadly, here we are. Kind of. Fun fact, an entire Six Flags park closing down for good is nothing new. It's actually been done before with what used to be the third Six Flags park in Texas, Six Flags Astroworld. If I had a nickel for every single time Six Flags decided to take away a park to save money and also redevelop the land, I would have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Now, I'm not saying the Astroworld incident is the same as this. Astroworld was more of corporate greed, while this situation played out over time. Anyways, the reason I'm bringing it up is because it's a very similar situation where a park closes down for good, and in Astroworld's case, some rides were demolished when the park closed, although some were saved, either shipped off to a different park or sold off. I think with this closure, the same exact scenario will happen. After all, not every ride in this park is bad, and some are such high quality that they could just ship it off and give it to a different Six Flags park that needs it. For example, what I talked about earlier, their all-new Steamtown. No, not the Vekoma SLC, that can go away. I'm talking about their new Nebulas. It is literally a new attraction, and because it's a flat ride, they could easily dismantle it and ship it to a different location. For example, St. Louis, Frontier City, etc. So of the 36 attractions, what is safe? Well, to make the video not that long, I'll basically lump all the flat rides together. Essentially, whatever is pretty new is probably safe. If it doesn't have any technical issues, it's also safe. And if it's cheap to take apart and ship off, it's safe. Now, because I'm not a local of this park, I don't have any specific examples, but if I have any viewers from Maryland that know this park and is probably watching right now, comment down below a few candidates. Now, while some kiddie attractions or flat rides could be saved, the coasters is definitely a different story. I mean, for one, roller coasters are pretty expensive. They take a lot of time and effort to build, especially dismantle and ship over. Yeah, that's even more expensive. So keeping that in mind, it is really sad to say, but I don't think any of the wooden coasters will make it out. Yup, this means Roar might reach its end. Wooden coasters in particular are even more hard to dismantle and ship off. Thousands of wooden parts and bolts that need to be taken off little by little, preserved, and moved away. It'll take time and a lot of money. Plus, if anything goes wrong in the shipment, the coaster can be rebuilt, but become very rough, or even in the worst state possible. So if you're watching and you're a fan of Roar or the Wild One, you better get your rides in quick. This is definitely their last year. Now what about the steel coasters? Depending on the model or type, a few might be saved. One good example is Raging Cajun. This is a family spinning coaster that's also known at fairs. And because of its ride type, they could easily dismantle it and ship it off to a different park. It's literally built for it, and they've done it before with Sidewinder Safari at Discovery Kingdom. The same can also be said for any kiddie coaster. Now for the bigger coasters, it's a little bit more trickier. Joker's Jinx is a great ride, and they could save it. However, I put it in the middle as either being saved or destroyed. There's been rumors that Six Flags wants to get rid of the Flight of Fear coasters, and if that's already their mindset, then I'm not surprised that Joker's Jinx is next to get axed. Although I would love to see it saved. I've done Poltergeist at Fiat Texas, which is an exact clone, and they are really fun. I'd say pack it up and give it to Frontier City. This park really needs something thrilling, and with the huge plot of land left behind from their old Nightmare Mine coaster, they can make it indoors and highly themed. Who knows? But only time will tell. For Firebird, I really don't know. They could save it, however, it is an older B&M, and the layout isn't all that impressive considering they shifted it from being a stand-up to a floorless. They could give it to a smaller park, but I don't think so. If it's going to be pricey to save, they might as well just buy a new B&M for something else. So it's a very low survival rate. Now what about the park icon, Superman? Again, a cloned attraction, but a very special one with that. A hypercoaster is a big deal, but also really expensive again. Especially in this economy, it'll be very hard for Six Flags to dismantle this coaster and save it. If it costs as much as a normal hypercoaster to save, just like what I said with Firebird, they might as well just buy a new one. Now would that be sad? Absolutely. If I can make it to this park this year, this is definitely on the top of my list. But I'm gonna put on a 50% chance that it makes it out. You never know, whichever park actually gets this, especially if it's a small Six Flags park, they're in for a treat. Now while there are more attractions, like I said, I've never been to this park, and I don't want to act like I'm a professional for this park by predicting like I know it all. There's a good chance any of you locals watching this video know way more than me. So if you do, comment down below your best guesses, because I definitely want to read them. With all this said, it's still very sad. While the park's fate was pretty obvious to most of us, I can't imagine losing my own home park. And it is really devastating that Maryland locals now have to go to a different park out of their way, losing a staple in their city. All these rides definitely deserve to be remembered. And luckily we still have some time to check this park out before it's long gone. So hopefully we can make this year the biggest send-off that this park deserves. Anyways, what do you think about all this news? What do you think will be the fate of this park's attractions? And if some get saved, where would you like to see them go? Comment down below. And if you want to see more videos like this or stay up to date on all theme park news, definitely help me out by hitting that subscribe button. After hitting our huge milestone of 10,000 subscribers, our next goal is now 50k, and the only ones that can make that happen is you, the viewers. So consider sticking around and investing in this channel's growth. And for all my current supporters, let's keep it going, and thank you so much. Anyways, thank you for watching, and this is JB Thrills signing out.